Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
And it's a warm start to the school day today, but looking at big changes later in the week.
Back to class. Triangle students are returning to school this morning. From buses to lunches to new school policies, we have everything students and parents need to know.
And traffic headache. Some families in Raleigh will need to get on the road early to get around a major road closure. The backups and detours that will make getting to school on the first day a challenge for some. Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock. Students across the Triangle are headed back to class today for the start of a new school year. Kids and parents, you've got this. Thank you for joining us. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Chris Lovingood. We have team coverage this morning for the first day of school. Thousands of kids are going to be waiting at the bus stop. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner has the forecast for what they can expect.
It'll feel just like summer heading off to the bus this morning. Taking a look at downtown Raleigh, you can see just a little bit of daylight now starting to show up on the horizon. We're seeing a mix of sun and clouds to start the day, but it is 71 with a dew point of 69, so it definitely feels like August as you're heading out the door. Some 60s out there, especially up near the Virginia line, but most of us are seeing temperatures in the low to mid 70s. At lunchtime, as the kids are headed out for recess, temperatures will be in the low 80s and then upper 80s for this afternoon, which is close to normal for this time of year. We're going to take a look at some big changes that come through with a cold front later today, when the kids may actually need a jacket heading to school. Coming up, Chris.
Wow, yeah, I can't believe we're saying that. Meanwhile, as we get the morning started out, there's reports at least of a crash on I-40 eastbound. This is just past the exit for South Saunders Road. That would be exit 298. So we're going to take you back a little bit to Lake Wheeler. This is around exit 297. Notice the kind of normal congestion for this time of morning, and there's no major delays at this current time. Really no major delays if you're heading from anywhere into Raleigh. Just a 1-minute delay on I-87 coming in from Knightdale. If that changes, and you know it will, we'll let you know on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
And this morning, thousands of kids are going back to school. That includes in Wake County, where more than 160,000 kids are getting their school year started. Among the changes they will face, new restrictions on cell phones. WRAL's Laura Levine is live at Felton Grove High School in Apex this morning. Laura, this is a brand new school to help accommodate the growing number of students in the county.
Renee, good morning. The buses are just beginning to roll here at Felton Grove High School behind me. Felton Grove opening its doors for the first time to students. We know that this is a brand new school, one of 4 that will open this year to accommodate all of the growth that we're seeing here in southern Wake County. But this school building isn't the only thing that's new this year. We know students will have to be prepared to store their devices away while they learn inside these classrooms. Wake County Public School students are unplugging from the summer and cracking open new lessons without digital distractions.
I've generally seen less of teachers having to tell students to put their phones away or telling them to focus in class.
Some schools already had individual rules in place, but this summer the school board approved a district-wide policy. At a base level, the policy keeps most elementary and middle school students off their phones all day, while allowing some exceptions at the high school level. It requires phones and other wireless communication devices to be stored in a locker, backpack, or some other place that is out of sight. It also requires smartwatches to be disconnected from smartphones, and it does allow phones to be used when teachers authorize them for learning or during transition times. Some exceptions at all schools include allowing cell phones for students with approved health, safety, or communication needs.
We want our phones in our hands. We don't want anyone taking our phones. However, the majority of Generation Z and Generation Alpha, our youth in general, they agree that phones are a big problem.
Yeah, getting to hear firsthand from those students. Meanwhile, we know Wake County Public School staff are now allowed to confiscate phones if students do not comply. It is the first day, however, so it will take some time for these students to get adjusted. The first bell rings here at 7:15. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Apex.
As kids are getting back to the classroom, school districts are trying to fill staffing vacancies. That includes in Durham Public Schools, and that is where more than 100 teaching positions are open. We have WRAL's Kelsey Coffey live this morning at EK Poe Elementary School. And Kelsey, the district is offering incentives to try to entice people to apply.
Yes, Chris, they are. Hundreds of students will be arriving here at E.K. Poe Elementary School very soon for their first day. Now, we've been staying on top of these vacancies in Durham Public Schools all throughout the summer break. And even though a new school year starts today, the district still needs to hire more positions. Our WRAL education insider dug into these numbers. At last check, Durham Public Schools teacher vacancy rate is just over 7%. That means they still need about 128 teachers. Their vacancy rate for instructional assistants is at 5.48%, and 10 bus driver positions need to be filled. Anthony White oversees transportation for the district. He says they're offering new benefits to attract more applicants.
In Durham Public Schools, we want to make sure that we're growing the whole child, but we also want to make sure that we are lifting up our adults that are supporting our children each day.
WRAL Investigates has a full breakdown of vacancies in schools across our area, so you can know how all of this could potentially impact your students' learning. You can watch that tonight at 6. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Durham.
Do not forget, WRAL is your back-to-school headquarters. We've got you covered for the start of the new school year. Learn where to find the best deals on school supplies, how to navigate that transition to middle or high school, and so much more on WRAL.com. Just search the words back to school. And we want to see your back-to-school pictures. Go to WRAL.com/report it. You can actually see your child's smiling face on WRAL and WRAL.com.
It could be a traffic headache for kids and families heading to some Wake County schools. Part of Tryon Road remains closed, and that will mean backups and detours. WRAL's Heidi Kirk joins us this morning. Heidi, this is all because of work to repair that broken sewer line. This has been going on for more than a week now.
Renee, good morning. And traffic actually just started picking up here just within the last 30 minutes or so. And as people come this way on Tryon Road, this is something you need to be aware of. I'm going to step out of the way and show you what we're seeing out here right now. Now, the eastbound lane has one lane open, one lane closed. This is between Avent Ferry Road and Gorman Street, of course, where that sewer line broke just days ago. Now, a spokesperson for Wake County Public Schools does tell us that they've had to adjust some bus routes because of this. So if you're headed out for the first day of school, this is something you will want to be aware of. Now, the city of Raleigh says they have communicated the changes with transportation staff, and therefore parents should already know about it. But if you're headed this way, there could be somewhat of a bottleneck here. But I do want to share the good news with you. Crews are currently working to get this fixed. In fact, they're hoping to have that done by the end of the week. So really, this is something that's just going to affect you the next few days or so. Heidi Kirk, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
The Wake County Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting that sent a person to the hospital, and that happened yesterday afternoon at a mobile home park off Pool Road. That man was sent to the hospital and is expected to recover. And the video from the scene shows police tape and bullet holes all around the park. Gunfire even hit homes and cars in that area, too. We spoke with one neighbor who says that she is very concerned for her neighborhood's safety.
Less than a month ago, there was a shooting at the mobile home at the very bottom. It hit one of the shutters that was outside of the window of my neighbors where their kids sleep. And it's an every week thing that we hear shots going off from inside here. And we just never know if it's one of those that's going to hit us or a kid.
WRAL has reached out to the sheriff's office for more information about this shooting.
The Warren County Sheriff's Office is investigating after 2 people were shot over the weekend. Deputies responded to Whaley Drive off Hester Road, north of Warrenton, just after 8:30 Saturday night. The sheriff's office says a party was going on at the time. The 2 people who were shot were taken to the hospital. We do not yet know their conditions.
The driver involved in a crash that killed the person on US 64 near Lizard Lick Road is facing charges. North Carolina Highway Patrol says 24-year-old Devon King faces several charges, and those include misdemeanor death by vehicle, reckless driving, and driving on a revoked license. Now, that crash happened early yesterday morning, and troopers say the car ran off the road, struck a tree, and then caught fire. The victim was a passenger in the car, but their name has not been released yet.
Deputies in Wilmington say a man jumped off a bridge into the Cape Fear River to escape being arrested. The New Hanover County Sheriff's Office says the man survived the 60-foot drop off the Thomas Rhodes Bridge with only minor injuries. Deputies say they were chasing him after he hit a car driving the wrong way. He was later found on an island. He is now in custody.
Happening now in the WRAL Live Center, we continue to follow this breaking news from overseas. You see the headlines right here. This is as a result of what the Associated Press is reporting. At least 4 journalists, including 2 freelancers who work for the AP, are among at least more than a dozen people who died this morning in an Israeli airstrike on a hospital in Gaza. That hospital was said to be working on children who've been coping with the effects of starvation. We're working to find out exactly why that hospital was targeted. At this point, the Israeli Prime Minister's office or the Israeli military are not commenting on this issue. Of course, as soon as we get any new information, we'll bring it to you here in the WRAL Live Center.
People want that conflict to end. Thank you, Ken. A big development is coming to Holly Springs. Governor Josh Stein and U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick will be at Genentech's groundbreaking ceremony today. The company is building a new manufacturing facility off Friendship Road, and the new plant will support developing of Genentech's obesity medications. It's expected to be open by the end of 2030 and create more than 400 jobs. Leaders are going to be at that groundbreaking at the future site at 10 a.m. Time is 6:10. Emergency landing. A plane touched down at RDU after a reported mechanical issue. The problems discovered on board that caused concern among the passengers.
And a new school year. Teachers, bus drivers, and staff are preparing to welcome students back. This is a live look at the Wake County School bus yard. You'll be seeing a lot more of these yellow buses out on the roads during your morning commute. And we will speak with the superintendent of Wake County Schools about what's in store for the district.
And headed out the door to that first day of school at the bus stop. It'll feel like summer and coming home very warm, but big changes ahead. It's not going to feel like this for the rest of the week. I'll show you.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:14 on the first day of school for a lot of kids, and it's going to be a nice start. Nobody has to grab a jacket or a raincoat or an umbrella. We have mainly clear skies. We have the top of the tower there lit in blue this morning. Some cloud cover in a few spots and a little patchy fog up in Roxborough there at 66 degrees. Temperatures are anywhere from the mid-60s in the north to mid-70s down south. 74 in Fayetteville right now, 70 in Cary, and 72 in Garner. We take a look at our forecast for kids at school today, looking at temperatures climbing into the upper 80s and a lot of practices this afternoon. 87 at 3 o'clock, at 6 o'clock 83, and then it cools off nicely once we get towards sunset with temperature at 79 at 8 o'clock. Lots of sunshine for today. We have a nice dry week ahead. Big drop in temperature and in our dew point coming up. I'll show you how it will feel. Chris?
And Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center, one of our top stories this morning is, of course, the repairs that are going on Avon Ferry and Tryon Road. We'll hear more details about that from Heidi Kirk in a little bit, but that'll affect things heading into and out of Athens Drive High School. Just a reminder, do not pass school buses when the stop sign is out. It's just always helpful to get us thinking in that frame of mind this time of year. And in Garner, after the morning bus stop, we'll have some road work going on from East Garner Road, from New Rand Road to Creech Road. This is repairs to a sewer system. But again, thankfully, this is going to be after the morning bus stop. Last thing we need is another headache as we're getting ready for something exciting, right?
Exactly. It is a big day.
Yeah.
Chris, thank you. This morning, thousands of kids going back to school. And in Wake County, the school district is preparing for an important year ahead. WRAL's Laura Levine is live at the new Felton Grove High School in Apex. And Laura, you also have a special guest with you.
Renee, good morning. Yes, we're at the brand new Felton Grove High School here in Apex. And this morning, I'm joined by Superintendent Robert Taylor. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Pleasure's mine. Glad
I know you
guys
have a busy day ahead.
Yes.
The most exciting part about a fresh new school year is also looking back at some of the lessons learned from previous years. What are those lessons that you're taking into this school year?
Well, I think the lessons that we always learn is about how we assign students, how we make sure we have good contact with parents about the decisions that we make. And so we're going to always try and get better to inform our public of the decisions that we make and how they benefit them.
What are some of your big priorities heading into this new school year?
So our big priorities are always focused on student learning. We want to make sure we double down on our tiered support model because we know schools have different needs. We want to make sure we put the need where it is. We also want to make sure there's a focus on student attendance. Recognize that if students are not in school, then they cannot learn. And so we want to make sure that our parents understand that and they work with us to make sure their kids are here on time.
Absolutely. And we know school safety and security also a major topic heading into this school year. What are some ways that the school district will tackle this issue to make sure that students feel safe inside these school buildings?
So one of the things we'll continue to do is focus on our See Something, Say Something anonymous app. This is a way that students can report anything that they feel is a danger to the school. Now, we won't talk specifically about school safety procedures. You can understand why. But it is something that we look at every single day. And there will be some new programs coming online that will be visible to every parent, and they will know exactly what that is.
Okay, my last question for you. We're standing here at this brand new school. What is it like to see this building opening along with 3 others to accommodate just the growth that we have here in Southern Wake County?
Opening new schools is, as you know, the most exciting thing that you can have as a principal, to be able to welcome kids into a new building, a new facility. But this is, I think, a testament to our community, to our county commissioners. They recognize the growth that we have, and they've certainly stayed behind us to make sure we have the facilities to meet that need, and that's just exciting.
Thank you so much, Dr. Taylor, for being here with us this morning. We're going to have much more back-to-school coverage coming up at 6:30. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Apex.
About it all day long. Thanks, Laura. Passengers on a flight from Orlando to RDU experienced a reported emergency before landing safely. Republic Airways operated that flight on behalf of Delta, and it told WRAL the flight crew smelled a smoky odor during yesterday's flight. They then declared an emergency just to be cautious. Republic Airways told us the plane landed safely and then taxied to the gate, and that's where the passengers deplane normally. A passenger on that plane sent us a photo from inside the cabin, several in fact, and we spoke with a passenger at baggage claim, and they described their experience.
They said there was some sort of mechanical issue and we were going to land, and there was going to be a fire truck, and then we landed, there was a fire truck, and we just waited for like 5 minutes, and then they checked it, there was nothing wrong, I guess, so we pulled into the gate and got off.
Did you smell anything on board?
It smelled like a little funky.
Now, what you're seeing here is video from a passenger as the plane was touching down. According to Republic Airways, there was no actual smoke on the plane. Maintenance inspected that plane before it returned to service.
It is 6:19, and on this first day of school, I feel like a lot of parents are thinking to themselves, I can't believe, as in for me, I can't believe I have a 6th grader, my daughter's entering middle school, and Elizabeth, for you, Max is a senior. How did that happen?
I don't know. Just the last first day of school at our house. I can't believe it. Just incredible. At least we have really nice weather for all the kids heading off to school today, and really great weather all week. We're going to see a big drop in our temperatures and humidity. You don't expect to have to carry jackets to school in August, but we could see that later on this week. In Fayetteville, Raleigh, Apex, and Chapel Hill, skies are partly cloudy. Chapel Hill, of course, courtesy of Top of the Hill restaurant. Again, no jackets, no raincoats required this morning. It's going to be a fairly warm and muggy afternoon. We could hit 91 this afternoon in Fayetteville, 87 in Raleigh, 88 in Rocky Mount, and 83 up in Roxborough. But we'll see a cold front that comes swinging through today. That's our next weather maker. No rain with this, but we will see our wind shift to northwest, and that's going to drag in some cooler, drier air. So big change coming for us starting tomorrow. Watch the front slide through and watch the numbers drop. This is a look at our dew point. We're going to drop it down into the 50s by tomorrow morning. That's going to feel refreshing when you open the door. I mean, a big change from what we're seeing today, and that will continue for the rest of the week. We'll see upper 80s for highs today, looking at 81 for tomorrow, and we keep it in the low 80s all the way through the weekend. But look at this, 58 on Thursday morning. I know in my book, that is jacket weather. I'll be grabbing one heading out the door. Watch your gardens and your yards for the next week or so. We've had a very wet summer, but it is going to be pretty dry for us this week. We also still have a couple of storms to take a look at out here in the tropics. There's Fernan. They're just headed off into the North Atlantic where it will dissipate. So no impact to land there before it dissipates over the next few days. Also down south, this system that's coming off the Leeward Islands, only about a 10% chance that it develops. But if it did, it would be headed into the southern Caribbean. And again, nothing to be concerned about. We are still in the peak of the hurricane season, though. So areas we'll be watching will be off the coast of Africa toward the Leeward Islands and then here in the southern part of the Caribbean Sea. Of course, first day of school for for a lot of kids today. And look at this 7-day forecast. Just incredible. Nice and dry. These comfortable temperatures, highs in the low 80s and overnight lows in the 60s and even 50s, Chris. Can you believe that?
Can't wait. We actually had some pumpkin spice donuts delivered to the newsroom yesterday, so we're definitely feeling it.
It's time.
It is, after all. Taking a look at I-40 at Wade Avenue, it's just that kind of normal congestion. And right by that exit 297 or 287 sign, I should say, you see that disabled vehicle. A lot of folks trying to get out of that left lane. So keep that in mind as you're heading out the door this morning. In terms of any kind of major delays heading into Raleigh, there are none at this current time. But as we head into next hour, these are the two spots that we're going to keep an eye on. And as you're heading out on the road, make sure you take us with you, 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
Chris, thanks. Online safety. You get warnings about scammers all the time, but what about your kids? 5 on your side will show you how you can talk with your children about staying safe.
And school lunch prices. Students and parents in Wake County will pay more this year. Why the cost keeps going up and how much you can expect to pay.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
A Kobe Bryant biopic and a long-awaited victory at the Little League World Series.
Let's take a look at what's trending this morning. There's a movie about basketball legend Kobe Bryant in the works. That's according to The Hollywood Reporter. And the movie will focus on his journey to the NBA, starting with the 1996 NBA draft. The Charlotte Hornets picked him, but he was then traded to the Lakers. Bryant won 5 titles in LA, but as you recall, he died in that helicopter crash back in 2020, and his daughter was also killed in that crash.
Yeah, life ended too short for him. He was 41 years old. The movie could be another way to pay tribute to him with lots of fans still thinking about him. Another Little League World Series in the books. Chinese Taipei is taking home its first championship since 1996. The team beat Nevada in the final game, 7-0, a decisive victory. This is the team's 18th championship. Only the U.S. has more, but Chinese Taipei closing in.
7-0. Obviously very hyped about that. And worthy of doing so as well. All right, all month we are helping area animals find forever homes during our Clear the Shelters adoption event. There are plenty of animals in need of a forever home at Cumberland County Animal Services. That's in Fayetteville. To learn more about this and other participating local shelters, go to WRAL.com/shelters.
Back to school. Students across the Triangle are kicking off a new school year. New changes in place that kids and parents should know about.
Plus traffic impacts. Part of Tryon Road is shut down because of a sewer main break. What you need to know before you head back to school or work.
And for this first day of school, it is definitely going to feel a lot like summer, warm and muggy, but that changes as early as tomorrow. I'll show you what happens after today's cold front.